I'd like to call the April 18th County Council meeting to order. It is approximately 6 p.m. and we'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. Councilwoman Knežny.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call by Clerk Treasurer Porte.
Councilwoman Knežny.
Present.
Councilwoman West. Absent. Councilwoman Cutler.
Present.
Councilman Frankie.
Present.
Councilwoman Ficus.
Present.
Councilman Vincent.
Here.
Councilman Galloway.
Here.
6 present, 1 absent.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor state by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 6-0. I know we have at least one comment card from the public.
I think he put it back up. Up there. Yeah.
I'll grab it. Thank you.
And
If you'd like to,
I have Chief coming up also.
Charles, come forward, state your name and address for the record,
Charles Isley, I live.
and it is a 3-minute.
Yeah, oh, no, quick, and I appreciate you putting us on the front end.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much about that. Charles Isley, 1116 Indiana Avenue. I'm in the back in apartment A. So really, this is all more or less like praise and glory for you guys. Like, I mean, Mr. Frankie's just like took this and ran with it. I was telling you before we went on the record or whatever, I mean, literally, I'm coming back from a morning appointment, and your city guys are out there already contemplating this curb or whatever. We're going to compromise with NDOT and do the back and forth and the bureaucratic stuff or whatever, but it sounds like it's already kind of solved. But I did bring one picture just to show you guys, like those of you that didn't get the emails, just the magnitude of the problem. And like, I love this Laporte proud thing, but this is one thing that has made me Laporte sad a little. Because I've literally witnessed people going to funerals where there's overflow with someone seriously important, the flags and the big days. And maybe it's your grandma, maybe it's your mother, I don't know, somebody, but they're girls in their pretty shoes and they gotta like open the passenger door into this mud and stuff after some rain. Well, we could just do better as a community. When I have the fortunate opportunity to spend my winters in Jamaica, so I come back and I look and see things with a new light, every spring. So, I realize my apartment needs some fresh painting, and we could work on this, But I think Mr. Frankie's already kind of handled it, and the ball's already rolling, so. Want to thank you guys. I don't think you got, what, did you really call me from golfing?
I did.
Oh, dear God, my cynical friends just want to know, how's Mar-a-Lago? But seriously, you guys called me back so quick, both of you two, and then you reply with factual information on email. So bipartisan cooperation. Praise you guys for taking your job so seriously, especially during a global pandemic. I'll let you guys get back to work, and we're going to get out of here.
Thank you very
you, guys.
much. We appreciate it, and thanks to our council who,
have the picture and look at it. I mean, it's really kind of tragic. That's my foot on the side around it, and that's like literally about, I don't know, up to about there. And that was only after 45 minutes of rain on Wednesday, before it rained all day after.
Got to get the two
You got email copies.
chiefs out there to fix them.
But thanks, guys.
and thank you for the kind words.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir.
Not many people come to give us kind words.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that.
That's what he was telling me all along, throw a dagger if I wanted to, but I don't have any. Oh, bring Rich Hardesty back. All about that,
But this council is committed to making Laporte better, so thank you, and, but it's kind of expected from them because they work extremely hard.
Bipartisan cooperation. Way to go, guys.
Thank you. Thank you all to the council as well. Tim, anything you want to add?
Do you want your picture back?
No, you guys can keep that. That's
Okay.
It's all yours,
Get
Tim.
your picture taken with him.
Don't start.
Just one more.
All right, next,
I'd like to call Chief Breton up. Chief, would you mind?
Councilwoman Cutler.
Would you mind coming up, Chief? Thank you.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Are you presenting?
She's still smiling, so.
Smiley. We recently had our department photos taken, And we decided to get this for you, Mayor, so they class up City Hall here.
Yes.
And we also have posters of the same
I
picture
love
for
it.
every council member.
Absolutely.
Is it your orange and black perfect moment for you?
Great job.
Extras here for
Chief, even with you in it, it looks great.
I know, isn't it amazing?
the dogs. The dogs are in there. If
Hey,
you like one,
I got a
after
question for the
anyone from
chief.
council
Chief,
would like one, or
did you
Courtney
play
or
ball with Dermody?
Thank you.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
Beautiful.
So,
That's awesome. Thank
Thank you. You know, as we continue to, our goal every day is to set a new standard, set a high standard and expectation, and we also do that within the hiring process. And I'll tell you what, you don't learn about human resources directors until you're looking for one and how important they really are. And I will tell you this, we're very fortunate. Today is the first day of our new human resources director, Andrea Smith, who is from Michigan City, was the director there at Michigan City. And I wanted to have an opportunity. She's had a full day already. When I heard her say, hey, I got to talk to Nick Otis tomorrow, I said, uh-oh, we're getting you right to work. But if we could allow Andrea to come forward, tell us a little bit about yourself and welcome you with open arms.
Thank you all. My name's Andrea Smith. I am now your Human Resource Director for the City of Laporte. It's an honor to be here and to keep moving Laporte in the direction that you guys have already begun. It was been a whirlwind day, I will tell you that. I was locked out of my office. I had no email. You know, Courtney has been so gracious and kind, and we are going to make a fantastic team together. We see things the same way. My door is open to all of you if you have any questions,
Unless
you have
it's
any
locked.
concerns. Yeah, unless it's locked, right, which it was. If you have any questions or concerns or need something from me, or if you feel something needs to be better or changed, please stop and see me. I'm right up here in the corner office. Again, I'm here to help you, to help the employees of the City of Laporte, and just to help us move in the right direction. Again, thank you guys so much for your, for everything. I'm very gracious to be here, very gracious to be here and to be part of this team.
We're excited to have her. Any questions? You want to put her on the spot on anything?
Go
or-
ahead.
Welcome aboard.
Just welcome.
welcome.
Again, thank you guys, and thank you for your support. It means a lot.
And she did say she would come back tomorrow, so we're
Yeah,
headed in the right
he did
direction.
ask, Mayor Dermody did ask, so yes, I will be here.
I'll get that door open anytime.
I know you will. Thank you again, guys. Have a great meeting.
Thank you, Andrea. As well, we might as well add that this is like Groundhog Day today. We are honored with the presence of, now I can say, a two-time state wrestling champion. And I would like Louis Kuzdes, head wrestling coach in Laporte, to come up and make an introduction and an acknowledgement for us today.
All right. I want to say, obviously, thank you for the opportunity. And I know we are a winter sport, but you didn't have to change the weather just for us. We try finishing up the season as the winter goes away so we can enjoy ourselves for the spring, but it doesn't want to let go yet. I am honored to introduce Ashton Jackson and my other coaches, Jason Brown and Mike Eldridge. Again, first time in Laporte history having a two-time wrestling state champion. We just had our first Slicer Wrestling Association Hall of Fame banquet last month, where we inducted Jerry Jackson as one of our state champs. But again, this young man that we're going to bring up here is a rock star. He just attacks everything he has. He's looking for more, and I don't know what else to say. Puts in the time, puts in the extra. To top it off, he's also academic all-state, so he's doing it in the classroom as well. He's setting his college aspirations on the right path. So if you can, Ashton, come on up.
Because we have to force him to speak.
Right. That's right. This is
Ashton, welcome, congratulations on behalf of my office as well as the city council. Quite a feat. What do you have to say?
Thanks for having me. First off, yeah, it's been fun. I really couldn't have done it without the help of my coaches, my parents, my family, and just everyone's played a pretty special role in it. So, I'm excited to come out next year and go chase number 3 down.
At a new weight, at a current weight, or?
Yeah, I'm not making 13 and ever again. But yeah, going up weight class can feel good and compete well. So.
Well, we're extremely proud of you. Do you mind introducing your family here?
Yeah. My mom, Nicole, and then my dad, Adam.
And
My Nana, Phyllis. She's recording. Yeah.
One thing about it this year, he went 50-0.
Oh, wow.
Undefeated. Obviously set more Laporte High School records with, what was it, the longest win streak right now, so he surpassed that going back to back. What was another one that you had? Takedowns. Again, so he's rewriting the record books right now with another year ahead of him, so we are obviously getting ready to go back to work, and he's been competing in already tournaments last weekend or the weekend before, right at the end of spring break. He was New Way National Champ, so he was in Lansing, Michigan.
Yep.
And won a national tournament up there, beating a multi-state champ from Michigan in the finals, so we got a good one.
we're excited to have you, and we expect to see you here next year, but and we're gonna bring your family up, coaches, everybody. We gotta take a photo here, all right?
Absolutely.
So come forward.
Last time we had a photo, I was on my tiptoes. That'd be cut it out and circled by feet.
I saw that, Roger, because I watched the last council meeting. I thought it was more like that.
Yeah, they got it down to
It's twice as
VFW.
many
My-
state championships
My
as
feet
Jerry.
circled because I was on my toes.
Bert?
I'm back here by you, buddy. How you been? Bert, are you in his weight class?
Long time ago, baby. Andy, are you taking a video? Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Ashton Jackson, everybody.
Could have a 3-2.
And the best thing, Ashton, is you don't have to stay for the rest of the meeting if you don't want to.
You like the stairs, Howard? I'm just.
Thank you, coaches, because I know it wouldn't have happened without him and family, so you all enjoy a part of that success.
Okay, Linda.
Thank you.
Any other petitions or comments from the public? Hearing none. Standing committee reports. President Frankie.
No new meetings to report, but the Sustainability Committee will have its first ever meeting on Monday, 4 p.m. here in council chambers. Redevelopment Commission meets on the 27th, 5:15 p.m. here as well, and then I'll have to get with the new HR director to discuss when the Diversity and Inclusion Committee meets. Maybe Thursday, the 28th, we'll see.
Councilwoman Ficus.
Park Board will be meeting this Wednesday, 4 p.m. at the Park Office. And then due to the primary on May 3rd, Traffic Commission will now meet on Tuesday, May 10th, 6 p.m. at the police station, so a week later.
Councilman Vincent.
Nothing to add this evening?
Councilman Galloway.
The Mayor's Veterans Committee met on the 11th, and Dale Cavan was elected chair, and secretary was Barb Cavan. We'll have 47 bricks, and we voted all bricks remain uniform. Some people want to get medals put on them and all that. We're not gonna, then we'd have to redo everybody's. We got Laura Blankenship to sing national anthem. And the next meeting's on May 9th at 5 o'clock at the Park Department. We had a few bricks, when they were working on it, got chipped, but the Park Superintendent Schreiber said he would handle it. We're waiting for that. Police Merit Commission met on the 12th. They have a full-time secretary now, should be full staff. They're waiting on some state perf. 2 vehicles got all the markings and lights on, they're ready to roll, and SWAT's training equipment is ordered. That's all I got.
Councilwoman Cutler.
At the April Business Improvement District Board meeting, the downtown planters were the main topic of discussion. Inspection and repairs of the irrigation system should occur in May so that the flowers can be planted by the end of May or first week of June. The next meeting of the bid will be Monday, May 9th at 5 p.m. at City Hall, and the quarterly long-term designing plan meeting is scheduled for Thursday, May 12th at 4 p.m., also at City Hall. And the UEA, the April meeting of the UEA was canceled for lack of business, and the next meeting of the UEA will be Wednesday at 4 p.m. at the LEAP offices.
Councilwoman Konechny.
HPC, the Historic Preservation Commission, in conjunction with many corporate and community sponsor partners, worked on distributing the wonderful City of Laporte Historic Preservation coloring books to all the third grade students throughout the Laporte community schools and Laporte community. The HPC was awarded a grant from the Indiana Humanities for the production of the coloring books, which was illustrated by Peggy Michaels and researched and written by Bruce Johnson of the HPC. The printing and distribution of the books were made possible by many great corporate and community sponsors, which include but are not limited to American Licorice, Bethany Church, Garwood Orchards, Cablin's Ace Hardware, Hatfield Pest Control, McCoy Wildlife Control, State Representative Jim Pressel and wife Becky, Mayor Tom and Jackie Dermody, Barry's Photography, 96.7 The Eagle, and HometownNews.com. These coloring books will be made available for purchase in the near future. The next HPC meeting will be tomorrow, April 19th, here at Council Chambers at 5:30. The Airport Authority. Fuel sales still remain strong. The Airport Authority was able to secure and purchase additional acreage from an adjoining landowner, which will be instrumental both for the future growth of the airport and the highly anticipated runway reorientation project. The Airport Authority will meet next on Wednesday, May 11th at 5:15 at the airport.
Councilwoman Cutler, second and final reading of an ordinance.
I move to introduce an ordinance for the second time by title only.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor, state by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Councilwoman Cutler.
An ordinance to amend the zoning ordinance of the City of Laporte, Indiana, as enacted August 21st, 2017, which is a part of Chapter 82 of the Municipal Code of the City of Laporte by amending the official zone map that are a part of the zoning ordinance in order to rezone 2 parcels of real estate in the City of Laporte. End of title.
Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Discussion. Would any comments of what this is?
Well, I can say it was this was talked about at the last meeting, but it's the parcels located at the south side of 18th Street between A and I. And I know Craig gave a full presentation, but if you have anything to add.
I don't know if it's necessary to go over everything that I went over before, but I'm happy to answer any questions that anybody has on this request. I think I had a chance to speak with every one of you prior to the meeting and try to answer any questions you had as well. So just open any questions you might have about the request.
And this is for housing development.
It's for housing development on the 4.8 acres between A and I Street on the south side of 18th.
And it's just being rezoned from single-family to townhouse,
Correct.
basically. Okay.
Not multifamily, just townhouse. Yep.
Questions for Mr. Phillips? Thank you, Craig. Would anybody from the public like to speak? Anybody from the public? Council discussion? Hearing none, I have a motion and a second. All in favor, state by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 6-0. Councilwoman Konechny, second and final reading.
Your Honor, I move to present an ordinance by title only for a second reading.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, state by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Councilwoman Konechny.
An ordinance amending ordinance number 1-2022 to establish salary for a new position in the Human Resources Department.
Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Do I have a second? I have a motion and a second. Clerk Treasurer Parthun, could you just clarify?
Yeah, sure. This is establishing a part-time administrative assistant in the HR department. Corrine Fitzgerald, retired in December, is willing to come back on part-time to give Andrea Smith, our new Director of Human Resources, the support she needs. We do have it within the budget, and we are asking for approval.
And it saves a half of a person, again, being as efficient as possible. Further discussion? Would anybody from the public like to comment? Further comment from the council? Hearing none, all in favor, state by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 6-0. Councilman Frankie, second and final reading.
Your Honor, I move to read a ordinance by title only for the second time.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, state by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Councilman Frankie.
An ordinance amending Section 2-103 in Chapter 2 of the Laporte Municipal Code establishing a Commission on Sustainability.
Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. For clarification, this just clarifies
The term.
service.
Yep.
Discussion from the public? Hearing none. Council members, further discussion? All in favor, state by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 6-0. Councilwoman Ficus, public hearing and introduction of an ordinance.
Your Honor, I move to introduce an ordinance read for the first time in its entirety.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, state by saying aye. Opposed? Councilwoman Ficus.
Ordinance reestablishing the Cumulative Capital Development Fund under Indiana Code 36-9-15.5. Be it ordained by the City Council of the City of LaPorte County, Indiana, that a need now exists for the reestablishment of a cumulative capital development fund for all uses as set out in Indiana Code 36-9-15.5. Be it further ordained that this council will adhere to the provisions of Indiana Code 36-9-15.5. The proposed fund will not exceed 5 cents per $100 of assessed valuation, beginning with taxes payable in 2023. Be it further ordained that proof of publication of the public hearing held on the 18th day of April 2022 and a certified copy of this ordinance shall be submitted to the Department of Local Government Finance of the State of Indiana as provided by law. This cumulative fund is now subject to the approval of the Department of Local Government Finance. End of ordinance.
Clerk Treasurer Parthun.
Sure, this is, as some of the council members may, Councilman Ficus, Councilman Galloway, Councilwoman Cutler, from time to time, this is an administrative function to allow us to capture the maximum levy for our CCD rate. So this happens every several years just to get us back up to where we need to be.
Comments from the public? Comment from the council? We will now move this for the,
Public hearing, we have a public.
oh, we do have a public hearing. So I will open the public hearing to the public. Is there anybody from the public that would like to speak?
I will note that we did publish this in the Herald Dispatch on April 7th and April 14th. Proof of publication.
Anybody from the public? Hearing none, I'll now close the public hearing, and we will move this to the first meeting in May, which is May,
Ooh,
gotcha.
all right.
Second.
Oh, good.
May 2nd?
Second, because the third's primaries.
Thank you. Councilman Vincent.
Honorable Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to introduce an ordinance read in its entirety this evening.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, state by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Councilman Vincent.
An ordinance authorizing the collection of an administrative fee for municipalities' urban enterprise association. Whereas Indiana Code Section 5-28-15 establishes the enterprise zone program which among other things provides certain tax credits, deductions, or exemption incentives, quote-unquote incentives, to qualifying business entities in designated enterprise zones in Indiana, quote-unquote zone businesses. Whereas Indiana Code Section 5-28-15-13 and 14 establish an urban enterprise association in each enterprise zone, UEA, and authorize the UEA to, among other things, coordinate zone development activities, serve as a catalyst for zone development, promote the zone to outside groups and individuals, and establish a formal line of communication with residents and businesses in the zone. Whereas Indiana Code Section 5-28-15-5.7b requires the zone businesses to pay to the UEA an amount determined by the legislative body of the municipality in which the zone businesses are located to assist the UEA in carrying out its responsibilities. Whereas Indiana Code 5-28-15-5.7b authorizes a municipality to establish an additional fee to be paid by zone businesses whose incentives exceed $1,000 in a year in the amount equal to 1% of all such zone businesses' incentives to be used exclusively for the UEA's administrative expenses. Whereas the municipality may, by local ordinance, disqualify a zone business from receiving any incentives available to zone businesses that fails to pay for the participation fee or, when established, the administration fee. Whereas one or more zone businesses operate within enterprise zones within the municipality's jurisdiction, and the UEA oversees the zone businesses and operations in the zone business. Whereas the UEA incurs administrative costs and expenses in connection with the oversight and administration of the enterprise zone program and zone businesses within the zone, enterprise zone, and has requested authorization to collect administrative fee from qualifying zone businesses. And whereas the Common Council of the City of Laporte has approved the UEA's request and has agreed to establish the administrative fees to be collected by the qualifying zone businesses for the UEA's administrative costs pursuant to Indiana Code Section 5-28-15-5.7b. Now therefore be it ordained by the Common Council of the City of LaPorte County, Indiana, meeting in regular session as follows. Section 1, the administrative fee is hereby established in the amount not to exceed 1% of all incentives received exceeding $1,000 in a calendar year by a zone business operating in the enterprise zone as determined by the UEA. Section 2, the UEA shall be authorized to establish the manner in which the administrative fee is determined and collected from each zone business operating within the enterprise zone whose incentives exceed $1,000 in a calendar year. Section 3, each zone business shall be required to pay the administrative fee in such amounts and at such time and manner as requested by the UEA. Section 4, zone businesses that fail to pay administrative fee as requested by the UEA in accordance herein shall be subject to disqualification through an ordinance from eligibility for all incentives available to the zone businesses effective beginning with the taxable year in which such ordinance is adopted. Section 5, the administrative fee collected herein shall be used exclusively for the UEA's administrative expenses. In Section 6, this ordinance shall be in full force and effect upon its passage by the laws of the state of Indiana and shall remain in effect until rescinded. All ordinances or parts thereof in conflict herewith or hereby repealed. Any portion of the ordinance later found to be void or invalid shall not affect the remaining portions of this ordinance. End of ordinance.
Bert Cook from LEAP, if you'd like to further explanation.
Good evening to the council. Bert Cook, Executive Director of the Laporte Economic Advancement Partnership. So try and make this as simple as possible. For those of you that have been on the council, are more seasoned on the council and have been around, like myself, you will remember when the urban enterprise zones were, the administration occurred through the Indiana Economic Development Corporation, and then subsequently when the IEDC started the process of handing over control to local government, it was the Association of Indiana Enterprise Zones that did some administrative work. That has now changed once again. So all of the work occurs at the local level. For the last 2 years, we've paid the 1% fee to the AIEZ, and ultimately they've just collected the money and then returned the vast majority of that to each one of the zones. They did a small amount of marketing, which holds no value to us. The zone here markets itself. And so there are enterprise zones across the state that are continuing to pay into the AIEZ. Our board has long discussed this particular topic. We do not get any value from that process. All of the administration occurs here at the local level. The UEA hires Marianne Richards to provide those administrative functions for us. So the ordinance that you see in front of you will redirect that 1% fee back solely to the enterprise zone, and the monies will be spent to offset the cost of administration, which is far greater than the 1% fee. To give you just an idea, that 1% fee that would theoretically be coming back this way is about $15,000 or so in the future. So the changes resulting of the changes that have occurred within enterprise zones in the state of Indiana over the last 5-ish years. So, happy to answer any questions if you have any.
Questions for Mr. Cook?
Is this similar to like a TIF, or what qualifies as an incentive received within the UEA?
So the incentive, the main incentive that this deals with is the investment deduction, which functions more similarly to a tax abatement. So a company can apply to utilize the investment deduction, which is property tax relief either on real or personal property. If the investment deduction is to be used on real property, and that real property also is located within an allocation area or a TIF district, I come before you all on the board and ask for permission in order to make sure that financially we're not harming the redevelopment commission and potentially debt service that they may have out there within that allocation area. But that is the incentive that we're discussing. Historically, there have been other incentives. UEA started with the inventory tax. That was the original function, was to provide relief from the inventory tax. And there have been other incentives over the years, but frankly, those have been whittled down and down and down. Right now, the vast majority of the quote-unquote incentives is the investment deduction. And the investment deduction, while it saves the company or phases in their tax liability, it also requires, as you see in this ordinance, it requires the company to pay a participation fee, which is 35% of whatever their savings is, that goes directly back to the enterprise zone. And those are the dollars that you see funding downtown facade improvements and other various grants that occur, throughout the community. So in probably 99% of the cases, if a company is receiving an incentive, that savings is probably greater than the $1,000, thus requiring the 1% administration fee. And Marianne Richards, Councilwoman Cutler will agree, but Marianne Richards has a lot of work, because we do have the strongest enterprise zone in the state of Indiana, and that requires the billings that occur in the fall, the processing of the EZBRs, processing of the EZ2s, and in conjunction with our county auditor's office. So there is a lot of actual administration that has to occur in order for the program to continue to function the way that it is.
Further questions for Mr. Cook? Thank you, Mr. Cook. Comments from the public? Hearing none. Further council comments? Hearing none, we'll move this to the May 2nd meeting. With that, other business, happy Dingus Day. Enjoy yourself if you're heading out. Chief Breton is here. He'll be watching, so just have fun. Spring cleanup is next week, so make sure you get everything out from the 25th, I believe, to the 29th, and make sure you have everything out. And if you have furniture, to make sure that is wrapped, because the RTS will not take it otherwise. We will keep you informed of the property tax issue on bills that were sent out incorrect. And Courtney Parthune and I have a meeting on the phone tomorrow with DLGF, a mandatory meeting with the cities and the county here in Laporte County, being in the legislature, during that time. Some of you may have been on the council during the time when property tax bills weren't going out correctly or going out at all. Obviously, we want to get this corrected at the county level ASAP. We were one, I think, maybe of only either one county or possibly a second that had this issue, so we do want to get this addressed and make sure our residents know what to do. And I believe it's going to be pay your bill as is, and any corrections will come along, but the request from the county will be to pay your bill that's due on May 10th, I think. So please pay those bills and everything will get corrected. But any thoughts on that? Questions?
I have some thoughts, but I won't share them.
Okay. Other than that, council comments?
Only just don't forget if you'd like one of the posters.
Yeah.
get one.
Motion to adjourn.
Have a second? All in favor, state by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you,
Opposed?
guys.
We are adjourned. Have a great
Take 2
night.
seconds.
Be safe.